have a dog.
Yesterday, we stood together, your hand in mine. Could it be like this forever? Here by your side, suddenly bonds on our severed. Now we divide, so take me back on.
Gosh, this song has the feels. The feels, guys, the feels. I literally started this game up for like the first time like a minute ago, and it like hurt my ears because like the sound was like so high. It was like a jump scare. Like, oh my goodness. By the way, this will always remember me, if you can't tell by this sign in the corner. It says, always remember me. Oh. Okay. What does interface tutorial mean? Okay. Clicking the right mouse button or escape key will bring up the game menu. From here you can load, save, or change the game options like music, sound effects, or voice volume. If you're replacing the game in search of a new ending, holding down the control key will fast forward through text you already seen. On the left of the screen is a status panel. At the top is the current date and time of day. Each day is split into 7 parts. Dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, sunset, and night. Oh my gosh, that's so many times of days. Each part represents one game turn. Amy will automatically go back home at night every day to sleep. Below you can see the 4 main statistics: culture, creativity, romance, and discipline. You can raise those statistics during the game by performing certain activities in certain areas. For example, visiting the library to read books increases your culture. Below them is a chibi representing Amy's current mood. Lastly, the moral and energy values are very important since they affect your work performance and influence the ability of some actions in the game. You can raise those values in several locations, and they also go up every night when you go to sleep. So you can travel to several locations to vary from place to place. You are based on the time of the day. For example, you can exercise in the gym and swim during the day, get a drink in the evening, and so on. Sometimes you'll encounter another character, and a cutscene will play with a dialogue choice. Picking the right dialogue will increase your relationship status with one of the 4 dateable characters. 8 different endings and 1 solo ending. Characters in the game: Aaron, Lawrence, Eddie, and Hugh. Each of them has 2 different endings, a normal and a special ending. To get a character's normal ending, you need to maximize the relationship value by picking the right dialogue choices. With the special ending, you need to maximize the relationship value and specific character-related statistic. Culture for Lawrence, creativity for Hugh, discipline for Eddie, and romance for Aaron. Good luck and have fun playing the game. Oh my gosh, are you serious? What? Maybe I should go normal. Let's go normal. Go standard. We were talking together hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. The evening was wearing on, and the warm colors of twilight were starting to fade from the sky. I don't know what to do. You're doing enough. Don't worry about things so much. I'm so gonna forget these voices very fast. But he doesn't approve of me. Do you think he doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks it doesn't earn enough money, or that I should be doing something better. I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I can find. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. I know he feels bad about his father, Osher, was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. You can be pretty stubborn. I know some people think that I can do better, but it's not like a job at an ice cream parlor is anything special. I'm attending my first year of college for creative writing. It's a natural fit since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I had to take my part-time job during the summer to pay for my studies. Some girls in my classes have really good summer jobs. Honestly, I don't think you'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading first. I don't think it's anything personal. He's just being stubborn. Yes, but after all this time, I really thought that he would have warmed up to me by now. He just doesn't understand that we're serious about our relationship. Or he doesn't want to understand. It's just so exasperating. Since everyone else has been so supportive of us, he'll come around eventually. It's just a matter of time. I hope so. I just wish he wouldn't object almost every time he finds out we're going out on a date. I know, but it'll get better soon, I promise. We reach the staircase that leads back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned around to face me. Oh my gosh, you are scaring me. He took my hand in his and leaned down, gently kissing me on the lips.
Honeybee, where are you? Hi, Honeybee. Hi.
Want to say hi to the audience? Oh, that's so romantic. Honeybee.
Hi.
She's like, what the heck are you doing? Oh my god. Okay, go back on the couch and get your leg off my headphones.
Oh,
Such adorable. Gently kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly. Okay. Feeling my anxiety melt away. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay. Oh, I leaned in and smiled. Oh, you're such a romantic. You make it sound like a bad thing. I accidentally fast forward, okay. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand. This is definitely how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side. Let's go home, alright? Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything, you know. Sure. They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. We should split one. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorcycle and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding it on tightly. Oh. I rested my head against his broad shoulders and let a contented sigh escape my lips as the engine startled up. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon and the darkness of the night began to overtake the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute and on to the nearly empty road that leads back to town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. We were only driving for a short time before a strange feeling of foreboding settled before me. I shivered involuntarily, despite the warm temperature, and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for us for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We waited patiently for the light to change color, and when the green circle let off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving. We had just entered the intersection when very suddenly I heard it. What? I looked up, eyes widening with confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, swerving back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the light and collided with us. All I remembered for the hellacious sound of the crash and losing Foundation was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of the lights above me were almost blinding. Though I have never spent very much time in a hospital, I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar to what one smelled in a doctor's office. Where am I? It took me a moment to realize, for my eyes to adjust to the bright lights before I remembered what just happened. My eyes widened in horror from the vividness of the memory. Aaron? I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out in the hallway heard my son cry and quickly hurried inside my room. Miss, please lay down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash. But we'd like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I'll be looking after you until the time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet. We were in a car accident, right? That's correct, but please, lay down. We're very glad to see you conscious, but rest is imperative. I reluctantly laid back. I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I heard a proper exclamation. Can you please tell me what happened? What about that man who was with me, Aaron? Is he okay? The nurse's expression seemed to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more. What happened? I have to know. I'm not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything to you. Oh my gosh. I waited impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few moments for a handsome young man in a doctor's uniform to enter the room. I was surprised to see that he wasn't all that much older than Aaron and I, most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Good evening, Amy. I'm glad to see you're awake. My name is Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie. A man with a warm smile revealing perfectly white teeth. Yes, good evening. What time is it? Is it still Saturday? Actually, it's technically Sunday. It's 3 in the morning. I'd be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon. I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron. The doctor's smile faded. His reaction was like the nurse's. What is this cry effect? The tears aren't even on her face over here. Unable to hold anything back, my growing worry, I found myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes. I have to know what happened to him, please. Is he alright? Eddie stood up and nodded towards the door, motioning me to follow. I felt my heart sink, then began to fill with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you, he's fine and his life is no longer in danger. He has sustained a head surgery. He will recover, and it doesn't seem to have done any severe damage, but he has lost some of his memories. We're still trying to observe the specifics of just what he has forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me. I can take you to him, so you can see that he is alright. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed after the young doctor as he led me out of my hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word he said. From what I can tell, he is trying to protect you during the crash. We're keeping you overnight for observations, but other than some bruises, you're perfectly okay. You don't have any broken bones or severe internal bleeding thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart wrench as I followed him through the hallway. He wasn't walking very quickly, apparently conscientious of how tired I felt. Aaron, okay, it's good to know you're online. From what we can tell, Aaron is suffering from amnesia. He still retains long-term memories, but recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, and we want to be sure not to cause him any unnecessary emotional distress or stress. We need him to regain memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps. I see. This is my studio. I know this is a lot to take in, so please feel free to ask any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't seem to recall anything from recent years. You mean, he doesn't remember me? Yeah, I'm sorry. We asked him about having a girlfriend, but he doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name of Amy. I felt the tears I had been determined not to cry welling up again, ready to fall. I see. We walked through a doorway and into a room with a glass window and let me see into Aaron's room. I'm sorry to ask you of this, but since we don't want to cause him any grief or aggravate his condition, I must ask that you do not meet him yet. He's very confused and needs rest. I understand. I'm in there for a long time watching him, and letting tears silently slip down my cheeks as two nurses spoke to Aaron, who were perplexed expression. How could you forget all about me? You move between locations using the map, and I can only return back to your home, but later in the game you'll be able to move where you want. I was released from the hospital in the morning. I came home. When I walked inside, I was greeted with a soft meow when my cat, Nina, brushed up against my leg. Hi, Nina. Did you miss me? I smiled and reached down to pat her affectionately, though I couldn't help but remember how Aaron would always fuss over her. Nina was a great judge of character, and she adored Aaron, even before he started bringing treats for her all the time. Oh my gosh. Aaron always loved cats so much. He loved big cats and little cats like you, but you were always his favorite kitty. Nina cuddled my fingers affectionately when I knelt down to pick her up. But Aaron has probably forgotten about you, too. The sadness I've been trying to keep out of the front of my mind returned as I pulled my cat in an embrace. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Gosh, embrace inside. I felt very poorly with the fatigue from the crash I haven't worn off. I've lost my parents in a car accident, and now it looks like I'm going to lose the man I love to one as well. I sat in the living room with Nina on my lap when Gwenda came in to comfort me. Oh, Amy. Oh, Amy. What happened? Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at this voice. I briefly tell her about the accident. She was overjoyed to know that I was all right and that I had hardly been hurt. Oh, thank God you're okay. But why didn't you call me? The doctor said I was all right, and I didn't want you to worry about me. I've been staying with my Aunt Gwenda for several years. Since my parents passed away when I was still young, Gwenda had taken care of me ever since. She is a kind woman, and I greatly appreciated how caring she had always been to me. However, her pension wasn't enough to fully pay for my college tuition, which is why I took a part-time job at the ice cream parlor. You can now make your first choice. Several icons will pop up showing all possible actions and location. On each icon you see a brief description and the effects of each action. Each choice consumes at least one turn in the game. Some actions are only available for a certain period of the day. For example, Aunt Gwenda goes to bed very early, so you won't find her hanging around at later hours. It's noon, so it's a good thing you can be to eat something or just relax and read a book. Moral and some stats down, but energy down. Moral and some stats up. Why wouldn't I want to talk with Gwenda, girl? Yes, my dear. What's troubling you? Aaron doesn't remember me at all. And the doctors say they don't want to give him too much stress, since it might make him forget more, or make it harder for him to remember what he has forgotten. Honey, I'm sure he'll remember you soon enough. You're the love of his life. The two men were so close. The cutest little lovebirds in town. What is she doing? She got in the chair. It's just that these past few years that he'd forgotten, though. What if he doesn't recover? Then you'll make him love you again. Really? You think that can work? I'm so afraid that we will never be together again. We have so many precious memories, and to think that he doesn't remember any of them. I can help but shudder at the thought. You'll be able to do it. In the most absolute worst case scenario, you'll just have to start off from square one again. Even if he doesn't recall the memories you share, his heart will still love you. Even the amnesia can erase that. You're right. Thank you, Auntie. I feel better now. Of course, that's what family is for.
Bring it on!
Yeah. After talking with Gwenda, I feel better. Sometimes you just need to open up with somebody who cares about you. Look at her little icon. That little grandma icon. Aunt. Okay. Save game. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done for now, because, I mean, just introducing the game to y'all. Hope you like it. We saved. Okay, I'll see you next time for Always Remember Me. This cannot be a copyright song, because it's a game. Hopefully not. If it's copyrighted, then you won't hear my voice for the start and the end. So you probably won't hear it right now. So, I'll see you guys next time.
We stood together.
What are you?
Your hand in mine.
She's just chewing on her toy. Hello. Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, you remember my ending. Okay, I'll just see you guys next time. Bye-bye.